Good afternoon, how you doing?
Good. You are Avery Bancroft's executive assistant.
Yes, I am.
You help Mr. Bancroft with many of his tasks.
Almost all of his business tasks, handling his calendar and scheduling meetings, things like that.
So you schedule all of his meetings.
For the most part, yes.
You also buy his cologne that he needs.
Yes, he does have this special cologne. It's this French one that only this one crazy, hysterical woman in France makes. It's really weird that he's so, obsessed with it. But yes, he does have a strange cologne.
To bring you back to my question, you do have to buy his cologne, correct?
Yes, I do.
Now, it seems that you help Mr. Bancroft with many tasks, little and small.
Correct.
And you've been working at his casino for over 3 years.
Yes, I have.
You're one of his most trusted employees.
I would hope that he trusts me.
Now, in your whole time working at Mr. Bancroft's casino, you have never seen anything illegal happen in Mr. Bancroft's office.
In Mr. Bancroft's office, no, I haven't seen anything in there.
Now, on March 1st, you were contacted by Mickey Keenan.
March 1st, yes, to talk about the proposal.
At this time, you thought Mickey Keenan was an auditor for the Gambling Commission.
Yes, I did.
You agreed to meet with him on March 2nd.
Yes, I did, at his office.
Now, on March the 2nd, you met with Mickey Keenan.
Correct.
It was at this meeting that you found out that Mickey Keenan wasn't an auditor.
Yes, he actually showed me his police badge and told me that he was an undercover cop.
Correct. At this meeting, you found out that he was an undercover police officer.
Yes, this is when I found out.
And Mickey Keenan threatened you that he had gambling violations on you.
He said he had something from my days back in Vegas, and I wasn't so sure, so I just agreed to help him.
But Mickey Keenan did threaten you with gambling violations that he had against you.
He said he had gambling violations, yes.
Okay? Mickey Keenan's plan was to catch Bancroft bribing Chase Covington, the chair of the Gambling Commission.
Yes, he wanted to see if there was a bribe that was going to take place.
But his plan was to catch Avery Bancroft bribing Chase
Objection, Your
Covington.
Honor, as to speculation of how this witness knows Mickey Keenan's plans. It would be going into the mindset of Mickey Keenan, his intentions, his plans. This witness could not use his rationally based perception in order to get inside that mindset. Therefore, Your Honor, it's speculation and it's inadmissible testimony.
Do you have a rule number for me, Counselor?
Yes, Your Honor.
May I-
Rule 7.
You'll get a chance to respond.
Yes, Your Honor. Rule 701, opinion testimony by a lay witness. In 701A, it's the opinion of a lay witness is limited to rationally based perceptions. It does not allow this witness under Rule 701 to speculate into the mindset of someone else, especially if it's a lay witness with no training in psychology or any sort of thing like that. Therefore, Your Honor, this is speculation under Rule 701 and it's inadmissible.
Counselor?
I'm not asking this witness to speculate into the mind of Mickey Keenan. This witness helped Mickey Keenan in his investigation to catch Avery Bancroft bribing Chase Covington. Now, this witness was brought along to actually be a government agent as well, as he helped Mickey Keenan throughout his entire investigation. So therefore, he can testify to what this investigation was about.
Your Honor, if I respond on those grounds.
You may.
This witness was recruited to help into an investigation into corruption within the Midlands Gambling Commission. Now, opposing counsel is alleging that Mickey Keenan had a plan to specifically catch Avery Bancroft bribing Chase Covington. Now, to talk about this plan, one that was Mickey Keenan's and not Corey Hyde's, would be going into the mindset of Mickey Keenan, which, under Rule 701, is speculation and it's inadmissible testimony.
Counsel, let me ask you this. You offered this witness to show that there had been some kind of bribe or impropriety going on between the Gambling Commission member and the casino owner. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And so he could tell us what he thought was a bribe, but he can't tell us what he thinks is a plan to catch someone
He cannot talk specifically towards opposing counsel's assertion that Mickey Keenan had a plan to specifically catch Avery Bancroft bribing Chase Covington. This witness could speak towards an investigation and any sort of bribe that was going on, but for this witness to talk about specifics and what Mickey Keenan exactly wanted is improper as it's speculation.
One last response, counsel.
Your Honor, like I've said, I haven't asked this witness to speculate anything. This witness was part of the investigation. This witness was also a government agent. This witness knows what this investigation was about. This witness will also go on to later testify that it was part of a scheme that he didn't want to be part of a scheme to catch his boss. This witness has complete knowledge to make this testimony.
I agree. Objection overruled.
Yes,
Please
Your Honor.
continue.
To continue, Mr. Hyde, Keenan's plan was to catch Avery Bancroft bribing Chase Covington.
Yes, he wanted to see if a bribe was going to take place.
Now, throughout your time before the first meeting, Keenan prepped you for this investigation.
For the entire investigation?
Yes, Keenan prepared you.
Yes, he told me he wanted me to set up meetings like the one on March 31st.
But with the help of other officers, Keenan helped prep you.
In what way?
With the help of other officers, Keenan prepped you for the way he wanted this investigation to go.
Objection, Your Honor, lack of personal knowledge and how this witness no foundation has been laid that this witness worked with any other officer other than Mickey Keenan specifically. Therefore, Your Honor, for him to talk about other officers working with Mickey Keenan is improper.
The witness is free to say if he worked with other officers or not. Objection overruled. Please continue.
So you worked with Officer Keenan had you work with other officers to prepare you for this investigation.
I worked just with Officer Keenan.
Is that your testimony in court here today?
Well, in regards to who the investigation was with, yes, I worked with Officer Keenan.
Other officers helped prepare you for this investigation, correct?
Yeah, like I had to wear a wire. Yeah, I guess if that's what you mean.
You were prepped by other officers to help in
Objection,
this
Your Honor, this
investigation.
question has been asked and answered.
And the witness has yet to answer it. Objection overruled.
Yes.
Yes, other officers helped prepare you for this investigation.
Yes, like what I had to do, wear a wire, things like that. I'm sorry, is that not what you mean by prepping?
I mean that other officers helped coach you in what to ask Mr. Bancroft in meetings with you.
No, I don't think any other officers coached me.
Is that your testimony here today in court?
Yes, no other officers specifically coached me.
Do you remember making an affidavit before today?
Yes, I do.
Permission to approach opposing counsel in the witness in turn?
You don't need to ask permission to approach opposing counsel,
Thank
but it is granted.
Referencing this affidavit.
Document in its entirety. What is that I've just handed you?
It looks like my affidavit.
Is that your signature on the bottom there?
At the very end, yes it is.
You are aware that you had up until today to make any changes in this affidavit.
Mm-hmm.
You are also aware that anything relevant to today's case was to be put in that affidavit.
Yes I do.
Okay? I'd like to now direct you to lines. I'd like to now direct you to line 65.
Okay, 1 second, sorry. Okay.
Read along silently as I read out aloud. Over the next month, Keenan prepped me on the investigation with the help of a couple of other officers. Did I read that correctly?
Yes, and I just said that no other officers coached me.
Thank you. Permission to retrieve the witness without-
Yes.
Objection, Your Honor, to hearsay of reading the witness's affidavit.
Counselor, was this for impeachment purposes?
Yes.
Your Honor, while opposing counsel can use it for impeachment purposes, no clear contradiction was elicited out of the witness. Therefore, this is an improper impeachment. Reading from the document is hearsay.
Do you have a response on those grounds?
Yes, I have a response that that's not hearsay. The witness testified that other officers didn't help prepare him for this investigation, when his affidavit clearly states that over the course of a month, other officers helped prep him for this investigation. The witness did not give me an answer to that question, so I impeached him in order to elicit that answer.
Counselor?
Your Honor, this witness testified that he was never coached by other officers, which is not in contradiction with what the document states. The document states in vague terms that Keenan prepped me on the investigation with the help of a couple other officers. It doesn't mean that other officers specifically coached this witness. It means that Keenan was working with it could mean that Keenan was working with other officers, and then Keenan was the one that coached this witness. This witness has elicited no testimony, given no names of other officers. No foundation has been laid that he was coached by other officers. Therefore, Your Honor, this is an improper impeachment. It's hearsay, and it's inadmissible.
May I say, when the witness made their affidavit, they put everything relevant in today's case in that affidavit. Now, the witness testified that the only thing other officers helped them with was to help them put on a wire. Over the course of a month, other officers, it doesn't take a month for other officers to help him put on a wire. Those officers helped coach him over the course of a month, and it says that in his affidavit, which he wrote before today.
I think it's a close call, but the jury is definitely allowed to hear information that calls into question the witness's credibility, especially because I think there was a clear contradiction and your witness was impeached. So your objection will be overruled. Please continue.
Yes, Your Honor.
So to answer that question finally, Keenan, along with other officers, helped prep you for this investigation, correct?
Yes, other officers helped me prepare for the investigation.
Keenan also sent you an email with instructions for how the March 31st meeting that you set up should go.
Yes, you did.
So at this March 31st meeting, you were present,
Yes, I was.
Officer Keenan was present.
Officer Keenan and then Avery Bancroft was there.
Thank you. Now, on March 31st, it was Keenan and yourself that mentioned the bribe.
Yes, we did.
Bancroft didn't mention a bribe in this meeting.
No, he didn't bring up a bribe.
Now, after this meeting, about a week and a half later, you didn't want to go through with Keenan's scheme anymore.
A week and a half later, after, I was a little nervous about it, yes.
But you did not want to go through with the scheme any longer.
No, I didn't really want to be involved as much as I was.
You called Keenan to tell him that you didn't want to go through anymore.
Yes, I did.
Keenan then threatened you with the same gambling violations that he threatened you with on March 2nd.
He didn't bring up any specific gambling violation. He just said, you know, turning back now would be a bad decision for me.
Okay? Now, to be clear, you've never violated any gambling regulations.
Well, I mean, I may have done something in Vegas, but I don't think there's any evidence for it.
Okay? You didn't want to set your boss up, did you?
No, not directly.
Now, on April 13th, you testified that in this meeting, Chase Covington looked at Avery Bancroft and asked, "What do you have for me?"
Yes.
And it was also Chase Covington who said he had another good proposal sitting on his desk, that he would need 250,000 reasons to vote for Avery Bancroft's proposal.
Yeah, and that's when I thought they were clearly talking about a bribe.
Now, the briefcase in which Avery Bancroft put this $200,000 in to give Chase Covington, you ordered that briefcase.
Yes, because I think he wanted me to.
But you ordered that briefcase.
Yes.
And you were working in cooperation with Mickey Keenan.
Yes, I was.
Thank you, Mr. Hyde. Your Honor, at this time I have no further questions for this witness.
Any redirect?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You may.
Mr. Hyde, were you the one that ever put money in that briefcase on April 16th?
No, I never touched any money that was put in a briefcase.
Did you ever force the briefcase into Mr. Bancroft's hands?
No, I just ordered for him and I left it on his desk.
Did you ever tell Mr. Bancroft that he needed to bribe Chase Covington?
No, I never said any such thing.
Did Mickey Keenan ever force Avery Bancroft to bribe Chase Covington?
No, not that I know of.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Any recross based on that redirect?
No, Your Honor, I have no recross.
Then the witness may be excused.
Thank you.
State, do you have any further witnesses to call?
Prosecution called